area. Coach?
First though, I know you guys want to talk about the game, and I don't want to continue to come in these press conferences and say the same thing and just bore you guys to tears, because I've tried to be very transparent. So let me just get this out of the way right now so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. We love all of our fans, okay? Season ticket holders, people that walk up and buy tickets, whether they come from Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, Birmingham, Mobile, Montgomery, wherever. We love all of our fans, okay? But thank you, students. Our student section was rocking tonight, okay? And then their energy basically had an effect on the entire crowd tonight. So thank you. We let you down the last game, all of our fans. But I just want to say a special thank you. I've been going to fraternity houses to give speeches, Drew, to give speeches, not to party.
Yes.
Sorority houses. I've been all over campus. But I want to say, and I've challenged our students, that if you want a special basketball team, we need your support. So thank you to the students. Awfully proud of our team for a lot of different reasons. I'm not going to focus on the turnovers. Sure, we can improve in those areas. And there are a lot of correctable areas in taking care of the ball and ball security. But when you out-rebound your opponent by close to 20 rebounds and you get 5 guys in double figures, 2 guys get double-doubles, a lot of balanced scoring, you make your free throws. Obviously, Colin, with his eye injury, came back in and helped us. But, Daniel Giddens was special tonight in a lot of ways. His physicality, post presence, and we're played against a team that's, by the way, one of my favorite teams to watch. On off nights, I like watching Rhode Island if there are no other SEC teams playing, because they get into you, they force you into bad situation. They've taken on the personality of their coach, hard-nosed, East Coast team. Lots of guys that have a lot to prove. I've been in their shoes before when I played in college in the NBA, just with that laser focus. So, but I'm proud of our team's effort. We didn't have this type of effort consistently in our last home game.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start right in the back with Scott and we'll go to
Avery, patience, pace of play offensively. They have 24 more shot attempts than you. You have the 24 turnovers you talk about, and you win this game against a really good team. It's got to be patience and pace, right?
Yes, lots of patience. And if we can just take better care of the ball, especially when they trapped us. They trapped us or triple teamed us, or sometimes just, we just got knocked off our mark too much tonight. And we have to be stronger with the ball against an NCAA tournament team like this. This team was a couple of minutes away from going to the Sweet 16. And they have some physical guards, and we have to do a better job. But when we were patient and we got quality shots, I liked our spacing. Something strange happened tonight. I put in a new play on yesterday, and Colin makes a 3 when he comes back in the game when I called the play. So maybe we should throw out the other 5 that we've had in all year.
go with Cecil on the back left.
Coach, first of all, can you kind of specifically tell us what happened to Colin? Did he get a cut? Did he have stitches?
Yeah, well, Cecil, I haven't reviewed it on video, but when I went and he was down on the floor, he had little blood on the top of his eye. So we're just saying eye injury right now. He's going to get checked out early in the morning, and maybe we'll send out something after we get the update on his injury. But right now it's basically an eye injury, and he basically couldn't see when we first took him back to the locker room. But fortunately, he was able to see the basket when he came back out.
And also you had 2 different players with 14 rebounds each. John said that you told him to go crash tonight, and was it just Rhode Island size, or did you think it was attitude?
Well, I think it was attitude, and I thought we did a better job, our staff, of identifying when to go to the basket and who we want to go. Like I said, I don't want to keep bringing up last year. It was almost, known going into every game who was going to go to offensive class. Now we're a little bit smaller. So we have to identify by name who we want to go to the class and when we want you to go, so that we can have more of a presence, especially on the offensive class. We want everybody to go on the defensive class, which we did probably as good a job as we've done all year with everybody going to the defensive class tonight.
Go front right with you, Alex.
You mentioned, obviously, the one thing that sticks out is that 24, I mean, season high turnover margin, they converted, I think, for 26 points. I mean, really kind of, that seems to be what kept them in the game tonight. What is the key there to fixing some of that? You talk about careless turnovers several times. We saw Colin drive and just kind of let the ball go.
It's really simple. I've talked to you guys, you've heard it. I've told you my college coach say pass the ball to the open man. All right, you've heard that before. But the next one is, whenever you get to the point of no return, move the ball. Just that simple. Because there's always a point of no return. It could be on the baseline, it could be on the sideline, it could be in the middle of the floor. When you get to that point and you've lost your balance and you're trapped, or if you still have single coverage, just move the ball. I think if we can do that and get on 2 feet, which we probably haven't practiced enough, we practiced it 1,000,000 times, I'm going to go to 2 million now. We'll do that and see if that happens. But we're a better team than turning the ball over 24 times, but give their defense credit. A lot of times, I know we always want to talk about the ills of a team. You know, guy throws an interception, the quarterback's bad. What about the cornerback? You know, he's playing for a reason. So same thing in basketball. We got to give their defense a lot of credit. They're a really good defensive team.
So stay on the right side, Matt.
Avery, 2 questions for you. So first of all, you mentioned that you thought Daniel was special in a lot of ways tonight. What were some of the ways that you thought he was special? What did you feel like was special about what he did?
And well, let's go back to our last game. You know, Daniel had 4 blocks in 9 minutes, and they were power blocks. And even tonight, the one block where he ran a guard down, Daniel's 6'10", 250 pounds. He ran one of the fastest players down on their team and blocked the shot from behind. I think that's special. He got some, got in there and got a couple of offensive rebounds for us. He was patient on the post. We talked about patience earlier. Daniel, early in the season, especially when he first got here, you threw him the ball on the post, it was, man, he would go in 0.5 seconds to try to score without even recognizing what's happening with the defense. You saw patience, you saw poise, compact moves. Pelfrey's been working awfully hard with him, and I thought this was his best game.
And second question, Colin obviously went back in with like 5 minutes or 6 minutes left in the second half. He was back on the bench before that. Did you wait to get some sort of clearance for him before putting him back in the game? That's what that was?
That was absolutely right. I was waiting for Clark to come and give me the clearance, because I looked at him when he was on the bench and he was still a little bit groggy, but Clark said he was fine. He just needed to adjust to the lighting. And finally he came and told me, said, "Coach, you can put him in the game. I promise you can." And we needed it. We needed every bit of his energy down the stretch.
Go to the left side, Matt.
You've emphasized how much you guys need to improve on defense tonight. It looked like, in the first half they only shot 25%. In the second half, or for the whole game, it was only 35%. Were you pleased with your team defense tonight, or what do you say?
It just didn't start tonight. You saw what I've been seeing the last 2 days. A team that was looking like they had 6 or 7 defenders on the court. We haven't gotten, when we're on defense, we always look like we only have 2 guys on defense. So now you saw a team that scrambled and covered for each other, obviously took charges, rebounded. They didn't get in our paint as easily as some of the other teams have gotten in the paint on us. So it was just a byproduct of Monday's practice, which was probably, it was our hardest practice of the year, and yesterday's practice. So can we continue it? Because like I shared with them before the game, you must earn the right to win. Okay, I know we're in the social media, give me generation. And people love to take. All right, but you have to earn the right to win with your mental toughness, your togetherness, your competitive spirit. with high basketball IQ plays, and we weren't perfect in all of those areas. But that's not, when teams are coming in to play against us, especially when we were ranked, all right, you have to earn the right to win.
So front row, Drew.
Coach, a couple of questions for you. First, once again about Daniel Giddens. I asked him about what was the key tonight. He said it was, not fouling and being able to defend without fouling. Talk about, I was watching him on offense. He seemed much more aggressive from the standpoint, but it was almost like the old John Wooden, be quick, don't hurry kind of thing. And then I thought Dante Hall was really good too on both ends.
Well, Drew, you answered all my questions. You gave me all, you asked me the questions and you answered them. But I'll just elaborate on what you said. With Daniel, when Riley and Braxton were out early in the season, we were trying to figure out what lineup to start, because that wasn't the one we were projecting to start early in the season. And Daniel got in some foul trouble trying to guard some of those quicker fours, especially like, guys like Robinson tonight. And we felt bringing Daniel off the bench will give him a chance to play against some of those bigger guys and get him back into a rhythm. And he was really patient tonight, but physical. He was physical tonight, and we needed it because they had some big bodies inside, especially with Barry starting the game. So we needed Daniel's physicality tonight, but he was smarter, okay? He didn't commit a lot of off-balance fouls, but the guards did a better job of guarding the perimeter, so he didn't have to defend the basket as much because our guards did a much better job of staying in front of the ball.
And what did you think your team did better tonight? Once again, this game came down to the last 2 minutes, and you had to execute in a very tight game. What did you think they did better?
Well, we got shots. Fortunately, we got to the free throw line, made our free throws, and we didn't have as many breakdowns on defense. Against Louisiana Tech, they throw a home run pass on us. We showed the guys on video, 3 guys go to a passer at the free throw line. He wasn't even behind the 3-point line, and then the guy get a wide open shot. So in a lot of those situations, that we had tonight, I thought we did a much better job of recognizing what our objective was in those situations.
Got 3 more questions. We'll go here. Dr. Cecil.
Coach, again with the bigs, how satisfied are you with them right now at this particular moment? I know they have a really, really tough matchup coming up with a guy that might go first in the draft.
Yes, I'm very aware of that guy. I've been watching him on the AAU circuit for a couple of years now, and he's a monster. He's a talented player. But I would say Dante, you get the same thing from him every day in practice. It's amazing when a kid is never late for class. He never misses a class. It's amazing how that carries over into his personality on the court. He's never late for a meeting, always early, okay? Very coachable. I can coach him really hard and he never pouts. And that carries over into his game on the floor, and guys really respect that. So I just think with Dante, if somebody gets the best of him at some point during this season, it won't be because he didn't try.
Go front right here, Alex. We're going to close out with Cecil.
Obviously, you haven't watched film yet, but when you are evaluating the game like this, just from what you saw out there today, do you focus on some of the 15 missed field or free throws or the turnovers, or you focus on kind of what this team was able to do down the stretch, hitting that, like Ingram hit 5 of 6, so allows hitting the ones that can matter the most?
It depends on how I feel about the game. For example, normally when I am evaluating the game, I always start with our defense. So I watch the defensive edit. After our last game, I watched the offensive edit, and I watched it 3 straight times before I even got to our defense. Because I feel we're a much better offensive team, even than what we showed tonight. But when I evaluate this game, I'm going to start with defense. And I'm going to compare it with some of our recent games and our defensive effort in those situations, and do a little compare and contrast so I can basically try to sell it to our team on what type of effort gives you a chance to win consistently in non-conference and conference. And then we'll probably go to the turnovers, look at those next specifically, and then we'll get into some other areas. That's a great question.
Last question, Cecil.
Coach, you played obviously some neutral site games, but Saturday you'll be going into probably one of the toughest road environments in the country. If you could expand a little more on schedule in Arizona and what you expect from that game.
We were almost finished with our schedule, and we had a situation, Cecil, where that Saturday's game could have been against a team that potentially is going to have a very, very low RPI. But we just made a decision that to help our team, especially what we know is around the corner, with a lot of teams now, with 4 teams I think that are ranked in our conference and some that are knocking on the door. We're going to be playing in some very hostile environments. We hopefully will be able to use this Arizona game, whatever happens, to know that we have to be ready to play not only at home but on the road, especially in SEC play in some tough environments. And I've heard from some of my old teammates, Steve Kerr, Sean Elliott, that, the McHale Center is a tough place to play. And obviously with Greg Byrne, coming over to Arizona as an athletic director, he's told me about how hard it is to play there. So it was a strategic decision. I think it's going to be a great experience for us in terms of the lessons that we're going to learn from this game to help prepare us moving forward. And they have some outstanding players, and a lot of guys that may get their name called in the 2018 draft. So we're going to have to be ready to play. I watched their game against A&M, and they're very good. They're better than their record. I don't know what happened in the Bahamas. Maybe it was the food or something. I don't know.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Do they come back here next year?